JN is an abbreviation for John, like the book of John.
They may be using JN1. We'll have both JN1 and KP2 targeted vaccines here in the United States. So ultimately, and I think it just is a matter of getting one of them in your arm.
John 1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made. In him was life, and life was the light of men, and the light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. There was a man sent from God whose name was John. The same came for a witness, to bear witness of the light, that all men through him might believe. He was not that light, but was sent to bear witness of that light. That was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. Jeremiah 17, verse 1. The sin of Judah is written with a pen of iron, and with the point of a diamond. It is graven upon the table of their heart, and upon the horns of your altars.
Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their sins. Yet they seek me daily, and delight to know my ways. Day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel. And he said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand thou still upon Gibeon, and thou, moon, in the valley of Ajalon. And the sun stood still, and the moon stayed, until the people had avenged themselves upon their enemies. Is not this written in the book of Jasher?
That was Joshua chapter 10. Is that not written in the book of Jasher? It's also mentioned in 2 Samuel. Let's see what else is in the book of Jasher. The book of Jasher, chapter 9, beginning at verse 35. And Yahweh smote the 3 divisions that were there, and he punished them according to their works and designs. Those who said, we will ascend to heaven and serve our Elohim, became like apes and elephants. And those who said, we will smite the heavens with arrows, Yahweh killed them, one man through the hand of his neighbor. And the 3rd division of those who said, we will ascend to heaven and fight against him, Yahweh scattered them throughout the earth. That was a 90-foot statue in Sugar Land, Texas, just outside of Houston. The statue in Daniel is also 90 feet tall. Some possible connections between the letters to the 7 churches and world events. In the letter to the church of Smyrna, they're told to be faithful unto death, and they will be given a crown of life. The Pope gave a crown to the Lady of Laredo. That church is also told, he that overcomes shall not be hurt of the second death. That would kind of imply they possibly were hurt by the first death. The second death is also mentioned in Revelation 20 and 21. Blessed and holy is he that has part in the first resurrection. On such the second death has no power. And in verse 14, it says, and death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. So that church will not be harmed by the second death. The message to the church of Pergamum begins with, and to the angel of the church in Pergamos write, these things saith he which has the sharp sword with 2 edges. The Pope has said artificial intelligence is a double-edged sword. That's in Revelation chapter 2. Going down to verse 14, it says, but I have a few things against thee, because thou hast there them that hold the doctrine of Balaam, who taught Balak to cast a stumbling block before the children of Israel, to eat things sacrificed unto idols, and to commit fornication. The Pope has publicly condemned what he calls stumbling blocks. Verse 20, notwithstanding, I have a few things against thee, because thou sufferest that woman Jezebel, which calls herself a prophetess, to teach and to seduce my servants to commit fornication, and to eat things sacrificed unto idols. In Blue Letter Bible, the word for sufferest is to allow, to permit, to let, to let one do as they wish, not to restrain, to let alone, to give up, let go, or leave. The usage of Jezebel is the wife of Ahab, an impious and cruel queen who protected idolatry and persecuted the prophets. It's also the symbolic name of a woman who pretended to be a prophetess and who, addicted to antinomianism, claimed Christian liberty of eating things sacrificed to idols. She claimed herself to be a prophetess. A prophetess is a woman to whom future events or things hidden from others are at times revealed, either by inspiration or by dreams and visions, or a woman who declares oracles. Also, interpreting oracles. An oracle is a response or message given by an oracle, especially an ambiguous one. The simplest definition of an oracle, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, is a person giving wise or authoritative decisions or opinions. Some could say Jezebel lived in a white house. 1 Kings verse 22 says it was an ivory house. The letter to the church of Thyatira says in verse 23, I will kill her children with death. Despite that, there's a warning about something else that's killing children. Those who overcome and keep his works until the end, to him will be given the power over the nations, and they will rule them with a rod of iron. He that has an ear, let them hear what the Spirit is saying to the 7 churches. In the letter to the church of Sardis, he that overcomes, the same shall be clothed in white raiment, and I will not blot out his name from the book of life. Women at the DNC were clothed in white, and there's the complete human genome, a book of life. For that church that overcomes, they will not only be clothed in white and not have their name blotted out of the book of life, there will be a confession of their name before the Father and before angels. For the church of Philadelphia, they are told, he that has the key of David, he is the one that opens and no man shuts, and shuts and no man opens. Revelation 3 verse 8 says, Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. Verse 12, Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God, and he shall go out no more. And I will write upon him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God. And I will write upon him my new name. In July of 2010, the Ukrainian Orthodox Church issued a statement calling Kyiv the New Jerusalem, because Ukraine's capital is a religious ideal that for centuries defined the spiritual, cultural, and political priorities of the people of Ukraine. This particular New Jerusalem is complete with what's called a crystal wall, a wailing wall. It is a piece of artistry from Marina Abramovich. That would be the same spirit cooking Marina Abramovich. Additionally, the patron saint of Kyiv is Saint Michael the Archangel. You can see the statue he has arisen as he stands over the people. That sounds eerily similar to Daniel chapter 12. At that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which stands for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Scripture is so deep, if only we will look at it. Kyiv is also a smart city. So in that sense, you could say the New Jerusalem is coming on the clouds. Cloud storage, that is. That would be needed for the smart city. Zelensky wants Ukraine to be a big Israel. There's even a picture of Herzog and Zelensky completing a new unifying Torah scroll. In the church to the Laodiceans, it says because they're lukewarm and neither hot nor cold, they will be spewed out of his mouth. I suppose there are many definitions to what makes one a lukewarm Christian. Revelation 3 verse 20, Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I also overcame and am set down with my Father in his throne. I pray we will have ears to hear what the Spirit is saying to the churches and disregard what the world is saying.